Dover International Speedway, known for its high banking and high speeds, nicknamed the Monster Mile for its ability to crush cars and chew up championship hopes. Today, the Dodge Dealers 400, the second race in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup.
The second race of the chase in the 2007 would end up to be a pivotal race for the point standings, as no one could have guessed how chaotic the 2007 Dodge Dealers 400 at Dover would be and how many championship aspirations ended for some chase drivers. Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Gordon had set themselves apart in the regular season as the dominant two drivers, but a dark horse emerged quickly in the playoffs. Clint Bowyer, in only his second full-time season, made the playoffs and had plenty of momentum by nearly winning in the race at Bristol just a few weeks prior to the start of the chase. Further, in the first chase race at Loudon, Bowyer would break through and pick up the first win of his career, shooting him up to fourth in the standings. Jimmie Johnson, who was attempting to win back-to-back championships, was starting on pole, while his main rival, Jeff Gordon, was starting 27th. After some qualifying woes, Bowyer would start from 42nd. Now let's get into the race.
Field of 43 comes down to the green flag as Jimmie Johnson leads him down.
The leaders were looking racy from the start. Denny Hamlin was able to take the lead from Jimmie Johnson, while Martin Truex Jr. jumped up to third from fifth. Truex picked up his first career win earlier in the year in the spring race at Dover, so he was one to watch for the win. The drivers kept it clean until lap 12.
Gets to stay there. That's what you got to do. Crash!
Heavy contact, a 70 car. You talk about how hard you can hit here at Dover. There's a prime example.
Oh, man, you heard him say he got dumped. He got hit in the back, evidently, or something happened there. Hate to see that for Johnny. He's had some good runs going on.
Johnny Sauter was dumped by David Gilliland early on, adding to a disappointing season for Sauter. He was attempting his first full-time season in the Cup Series, racing for Gene Haas. The team was right at the back of the field every race, except for an amazing fifth-place run a couple weeks prior at Richmond. This was Gene Haas's first top 5 as an owner in the Cup Series, and will go down as Sauter's only top 5 in his Cup career. 4 laps after the restart, Ken Schrader lost control of his car after contact with Reed Sorensen.
Crash here, Kenny Schrader, a former winner here at Dover, involved in an incident here, bringing out caution for the second time.
This was Schrader's first season not racing full-time since 1984, and was able to rebound to finish 26th after the crash. After this caution, the race would finally get into a rhythm, running 30 green flag laps, and then the yellow was back out for debris. Back up front, Hamlin retook control of the race from Matt Kenseth, who had briefly taken the lead, and the two continued to battle until the next caution, which came out for Kyle Petty.
This driver knows as he lets Kenseth now get underneath him again, but here he comes back. He knows if he leads the most laps today, he gets 5 extra bonus points, and in this tight chase, that's important.
Crash here is Kyle Petty, guys, a former winner here in the 45 car. Kyle, who won the very first race on the concrete surface here back in 1995. He spins it around, and that will bring out yellow.
Take care of the motor. You're all right. You're okay.
Yellow for the 4th time today here on lap number 75. Watch again the 21 of Schrader, middle of the track, and just that little touch there for Schrader and Kyle Petty.
And that was just absolutely a racing accident right there. Those two are some best of friends. So that one there was absolutely that was not intended.
Things really calmed down in the middle of the race. After the restart, a 64-lap green flag run took the race to a competition caution on lap 149. After the restart, there was another long green flag run consisting of 51 laps. However, a big story from this green flag period was for points leader Jimmie Johnson, who ran into trouble when he got a flat tire on lap 187, but luckily didn't hit the wall. It was Kenseth who dominated this portion of the race, taking the lead on lap 98, and would lead through the next caution on lap 205 for the day's first multi-car incident involving a couple chasers.
Well, trouble on the racetrack as we're getting ready to talk about Burton's issues with the car of tomorrow, and we have an issue here with the 45 car of Kyle Petty.
The 11 just freaking ran all over you.
We see a little bit of damage right now in the right front fender
right there, Denny.
of the 11. Now he's really got that thing in the wall. Going to have to work on it hard.
Looks like oh, man. Looks like he just got right into the back of Kyle Petty.
Denny Hamlin dominated early on, but faded after he lost the lead and was caught up in a battle with Clint Bowyer when he aggressively tried to pass the lap car of Kyle Petty. Clint was able to continue on without much damage after his repairs, but Denny would go behind the wall and pretty much end his day until his team was able to put him back out on track for the final 100 laps. Less than 20 laps after the restart, the caution would be back out on lap 230, this time for Jamie McMurray.
Here at the Monster Mile, and a lot of frustration. Matt Kenseth, and here's the 26 car of Jamie McMurray having his troubles, and he's down. Oh, just gets by with, apparently has the damage and maybe a right rear tire.
Tires right now. Can I make it without going a lap down? I don't think so. I don't think so. We can get 2 maybe.
For nearly 120 laps, the field stayed clean from lap 236 until lap 355 when a debris caution came out. During this time, lap 266 would be the first time Kenseth lost the lead of the race since lap 98 to Carl Edwards. This debris caution would ensue chaos at the end of the race. Matt Kenseth took back the lead of the race under yellow and would lead on the restart. However, the yellow was back out just 3 laps later.
Something going on with the 17 car, Jamie?
Guys, Matt Kenseth just came over the radio, said we're blowing up. They said, guys, switch your battery, switch your battery. He said we're blowing up, but we have a crash on the track, guys.
Heavy contact with Tony Raines, the 96 car. Brings out the 9th caution flag, and boy, they've just taken part of the rear panel of 49 of John Andretti also involved.
Just about the time you thought this race was starting to shape up, everything goes crazy again.
As race leader Matt Kenseth blew an engine, Carl Edwards took the lead. At the same time, Tony Raines and John Andretti found themselves in a massive crash. Andretti got super loose under Raines and shot them both straight into the outside wall. Both drivers retired.
Race yesterday with contact there. It had almost a head-on collision with the wall. Tempers flared. Here's the latest contact in the NASCAR Nextel Cup event today.
Kenseth's crew worked hard to get him back out on the track, even if he was down on power because there were only 5 other cars on the lead lap at this point. On the restart, Kenseth's engine would let go, forcing him to retire after a dominant day.
It's going down up there. They were right up there.
That will indeed bring out the caution flag. And Robbie Reiser, you heard what he said to Jamie. He said, you know, we just got to hope that everything works out, and it didn't happen at all.
Well, this thing absolutely dropped the valve right now in the engine. Robbie Reiser called it right. He said they generally don't last, but sometimes they do.
After the restart, the caution would again be out quickly, this time for Robbie Gordon.
Track, no caution flag. We stay green.
Now the caution comes out.
Yellow will finally come out. They were concerned spotters all around the race.
After a previous 120-lap green flag run, there were 4 cautions in 26 laps, and the biggest trouble of the day was still to come.
Now Robbie just gets loose going at the corner. Just doesn't get touched by the 48. Just loses his arrow loose.
Real close there. It looked like there was almost contact.
One of the all-time best at Dover. Mark Martin up on that steering wheel trying to reel in Edwards. Whoa, off the wall, the 2-car burst. Bush, and his teammate comes across.
Oh, man, that was 2 for 1. Both Penske cars taken out in that one. A melee.
Jimmy Johnson also gets tagged, the reigning series champion. Jeff Green, the 66 cars in it. J.J. Yaley.
Something broke on the car, man. It shot straight into the fence.
The red flag was displayed immediately for this huge incident. It started with Kurt Busch slamming into the wall and then bouncing off of Reed Swardson's car, turning him in front of the field. While others piled in, Casey Kane had nowhere to go and drove straight into the back of Kurt's car, lifting him off the ground. Clint Bowyer navigated through the wreck, but on the other side, Martin Truex Jr.'s amazing day was done. Kurt Busch was the only chaser that was out of the race, but other chasers involved were Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson.
Newman goes up down and gets the inside wall. Kane has nowhere to go. Right in front of him is the 2-car. The 5-car of Kyle Busch bouncing off a couple.
It's like Tony Stewart just avoids these guys. I think he got a little bit of contact, maybe some damage.
Jeff Green on board camera.
All right, check up. Come on the bottom here. Come on, right where you're at. Come on, right.
And you just can't see with all that smoke. Jeff did the best job he could, but just cleared 3 or 4 of them, and just about the time the smoke cleared, he was into it.
After the restart, there was a quick debris caution, and they stacked them up for a final 4-lap shootout.
Here goes Biffle on the high side of Mark Martin.
And Biffle made that move work on Dale Earnhardt Jr. the last restart, and it worked this time for him.
He did strike like a rattlesnake. His car's great right here.
He's away from victory at the Monster Mile, and here he comes down. Carl Edwards picks up win number 3 in 2007.
Neither Biffle or Mark Martin had anything for Edwards, who was clearly the fastest car after Matt Kenseth's engine troubles. The race really shook up the points, with only Kyle Busch maintaining his points position. Kenseth and Hamlin put themselves into an impossible situation after this race, both now over 115 points out of the championship lead. The big winner was obviously Carl Edwards, who won the race, and he jumped into championship contention. And the top 6 drivers were separated by only 18 points after this race. In the end, we all know who ended up on top this season, even after this crazied over race. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. Hope you did enjoy. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you did. If you have any suggestions for other races or any other type of video, really just let me know in the comments down below. Anyways guys, that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.